Now you're ready.
Ken Vannon. Sup riders, and welcome to the prologue for the RSRSpa series. Before we begin, let me clarify that at this point in time, Ken Vannon has no relation to RSRSpa aside from being a regular customer. To start off this video, here's some general information about RSRSpa. With their premium track day, they set themselves apart with less participants, open pit lane, overtaking anywhere, higher valley cars, frequent events, rental cars, and instruction in various languages. The timing of the track day is as follows. Registration starts at 7:30. At 8:20, there's a mandatory closed driver's briefing. No briefing means no track access. Between 9 and 10, there's a track walk with Ron Simmons. At 9:30, there's a closed briefing for latecomers. Between 10 and 12, the pit lane is finally open. From 12 to 1 is a lunch break. And from 1 to 6, the pit lane is open again. Registration will get you a wristband, blue for drivers or white for passengers. Once you've concluded your mandatory driver's briefing, you get your orange wristband, which will allow you track access. No wristbands means no track access. Also in the driver's briefing are some tips for passing and getting past. Frequently check your mirrors for faster cars coming behind you. If you're getting out of the way, indicate which side of the track you're moving to. Indicate right, you stay right, and signal it's clear for others to pass you on your left. You'll see me do this frequently. The driver's briefing closes with a cold hard truth. If 2 other drivers make valid complaints, you're banned from the track day.
The only thing is that you have to be careful with the traffic, so just check your mirrors and use your indicators. Indicate on the left and stay on the left. So you let him go, indicate on the left or the right so that the car behind us can go. So slow down and let him go. If it's annoying you, you can let him go.
Did you guys have an issue with one of our Clios?
The white Clio,
Yeah.
Not really. He's not super keen on letting people go. So he drives the line. He's not super fast, but he's not super slow. But he doesn't move out of the way.
Yeah.
So you have to go around him.
Which is good.
Which is good.
From 9 to 10, you can go on a track walk with Ron Simmons. You get to take your car on the track for a slow lap with 2 stops, corners 3, 4, 5 at Eau Rouge and corner 10 Bruxelles. At each corner you get some history, information and an anecdote or two, after which you're free to ask a few questions. Interesting though this may be, most of us are eager to get the session started, hoping we'll not go this slow again, save for the pit lane. Of course, a trip down pit lane is part of any track day. With over half the participating cars being Porsche GT3 cars, once you've seen 5, you've seen them all. Still, there are a few more unique specimens here. Probably a dozen various Lotus cars, a few Renaults, Clios and others, 2 older Porsches, a Ferrari, an Ariel Atom, and a few truly special cars, as well as my Mitsubishi. Recording devices are allowed if they're solidly mounted. I cannot recommend an action camera enough. It's fun to reminisce with an archive of your track day, and it's an invaluable after-action review tool. I can see my mistakes, listen to my instructor, hear what I missed in the middle of the action, see the good lines, and review what I liked and disliked for next time. You don't need the latest high-tech gadget for this. More detail isn't nice to have, but what you really want is clear audio. Once you get your camera, test it out, and if need be, look into an external microphone. Finally, don't forget about extra batteries or another power source, and your preferred mounting accessories. This video was recorded using a GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition action camera at 1080p 60 frames per second inside the waterproof housing mounted on the right side of a helmet. The video turned out quite well. The contrast between the car interior and the track outside is a bit high, and the helmet mounting was less than ideal. I'll be testing several viewpoints for next time. The audio on the other hand was horrendous. Next time I'll be using one of my external mics for much better results.
So you see, what I mean is that this is the problem. So you didn't remember where you parked before, and you didn't remember not to pull the handbrake. So the problem now is this. The thing is that the energy that your brain has to learn is in order to learn how to do it, you are draining energy out of your brain. Mm-hmm. And then very simple stuff like you don't pull the handbrake, you forget. So it gets very tricky. It gets very tricky to keep going. We have to stop, and we have to calm ourselves down a little bit and get a little bit of energy back, because this is, if you think about it, this is exactly the problem you're having also on the track. Is that sometimes it's like a small blackout. It's normal. Don't feel it's normal. It's a very emotional experience to be out in the traffic, fast cars, and learning. But this is why I stopped you. So because you have to be, think about this. You are driving at speed in a difficult track with fast traffic. So I want you to be completely in charge of what you're doing, okay? And you can see that it's very easy to get drained out. So you didn't even remember not to pull the handbrake, or you didn't remember where you did stop before. So which is very simple things, but the same thing happens on the track. So you know you have to do something, but maybe you forget because your brain doesn't have enough energy anymore to keep with all the information. So you just take 5 minutes, you drink a glass of water, you think about what you've done, you think about what we discussed, you close your eyes, you think about driving a lap properly, and then we start again. Okay?
Keep in mind that a track day is a mentally exhausting event, especially if it's your first track day, if it's the first time at this track, or some other first. I highly recommend being out on track for only about 15 minutes after coming back in. In between, you walk and look around, rehydrate, and regain some energy. RSRSpa understands this is crucial and provides drinks, energy bars, and fruit freely throughout the day. Keeping this up will ensure you can fully capitalize on your experience with high concentration while managing your stress and excitement. Let's finish the prologue with my car. It's a 2010 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10 with semi-automatic 6-speed transmission. You'll see me using automatic transmission in sports mode, the modes being normal, sport, super sport, which does pretty good, but each time I step on the gas you can hear it shift down. That said, I was quite happy to have one less thing to worry about on my first track day. Had my rear brake pads lasted the day, I would have no doubt tried a session with semi-manual gears. Everything about my car is stock, so it puts out 295 horsepower. In comparison, the stock Renault Clio cars put out around 200 horsepower, and the stock Porsche GT3 puts out around 480 horsepower. With that said, on to the actual laps. Maestro?
Now you're ready.
Ken Bannon.